TICMA office, which we are now presenting to you as our proposed take-off site for the proposed university. We will be going by the program as you sent to us. I will just appeal that shortly after the chairman's speech, we could just do those PowerPoint presentations that we mentioned on what we have seen to make it easier, so we can relate with the structure we saw on the other side. First, let me request for prayer, and I know that our mommy Betty is a very strong woman of God. She sends me prayer every day, number of prayers. May you please pray for us?
We are gathered in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. Our eternal rock of ages, we give you thanks, we praise you, we thank you for today. We thank you because you are God. We thank you because you said and your word is yea and amen. That where 2 or 3 are gathered together in your name, you will be there. We recognize your presence with us right now, O God, and we thank you for being with us. We also pray ye thee that you be with us throughout the deliberations of this day. Thank you for all the successes we have recorded so far, and all that you are doing in the name of Jesus. Amen. Be with us and share this occasion for us in Jesus' most wonderful name. And I pray. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
We would appeal that Rashid will stand by to give us closing prayer so that I don't put you on the spot. That's what I'm doing. At this point, I would probably introduce the TICMA team, and thereafter hand over to Deku, who may wish to do it or direct somebody to also do the introduction for the opening remarks of the NUC team. First is our promoter. He is a distinguished Nigerian, distinguished in many regards, but of all the fields, which includes law and of course education, he has demonstrated a lot of leadership and is better known in broadcasting. He is Professor Tony Iradia. Of course, our chairman of the PIC, who is currently the Director General of the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, Professor Musagi, is a man that has been introduced also by the state government, so I would not want to take the risk of going further, especially that this is their time. So please help me to welcome him. The other members of the Project Implementation Committee of the proposed Tony Iradia University of Communication in the order of our sitting. We have my mommy, Professor Fidelma Ukeje. We also have Professor Gafuna, who was equally introduced, immediate past dean of social science in Mesa of Benin. We, of course, have also with us our barrister, also a member of the BIC, retired director with INEC. Yes, each time I pronounce the name, they query me. So Chairman, help me this time, sir.
This is Chief Agbonwalite.
My mommy again, who was equally introduced in terms of her contribution to knowledge and also contribution to the field of media and communication by our promoter briefly in Government House, Mommy Betty, who is also a retired permanent secretary, but not tired. And we have our consultant. He is probably better known to all of us. Since TIUC's establishment, we have special focus on mentorship. And so this morning, we formed the first group of our staff because they are still very much with us. I want to introduce, first of all, stand up. We have Peace, and we also have Joy. So you see, they give us peace and joy. So these are members of the PIC and members of TIUC, our support staff that are here. My name is Emmanuel Dandawa. I'm secretary of the PIC. Some of our PIC members couldn't make it to this meeting, but we have 60%, 75% of the members here. At this point, let me quickly return to the Directorate of Establishment of Public Universities of the NUC to kindly either introduce the team or direct further. We have Madam E.S. ma'am.
Promoter and members of the PIC, chairman and members of the PIC. Thank you once again for having us. So just simply we have Professor in charge of master plan and infrastructure. In charge of faculty matters. Forest and system culture. Then we have our planetary leadership in this environment.
Thank you so much for the Executive Secretary of the NUC here. We welcome you and your team. We will now move to item number 3 on the agenda, and that will be inviting our promoter of Tony Radia University of Communication, the proposed university, to give us his brief remarks. Professor Radia O.M.
Members of the planning committee, director of TIUC large. One of the greatest problems I have is when I'm asked to make a brief remark, but I don't know how to be brief. So broadcasters are always talking. Getting long, that's all. Well, let me formally welcome you to the main office of TIUC. TIUC is a non-governmental organization incorporated in the area of manpower development in communication and allied subjects. We have been doing a lot of training programs. As you heard, the very best of our trainees were invited here this morning and have been introduced to you. And because they are outstanding, the state government has already employed them. Those training programs are not Edo-based, they are national. We have trained so many, in fact, many years ago, we trained NUC communication officers. And the first day I went to visit our secretary and others were saying, oh, remember, he came to train us. So, after so many years of training, we decided that we should formally establish a training institution. So, this proposed university we are talking about has TIGMA as the promoter. The kind of comments I think I should make will be to underscore the objective of this proposed institution. Because in this case, even though the Secretary of Government said a while ago that though there are many universities, they still need more, we are proud to say that this state has very many universities. We have University of we have Sindausa University, we have one at Eko, we have one at Yamo, we also have one in Smart. We decided that we are not going to replicate that goal of mass producing. So while many universities are interested in the quantity of products, we are more interested in quality. That's why we decided to set up a specialized institution in just the field that concerns us, communication and media. So in very many respects, our institution is very different from every other one. We are not a conventional university. And so we like that NUC should also tune its mind towards that specialization by dealing with us. Ours is small sized, but specifically specialized. When somebody comes to our school and gets trained and gets graduated in a particular field, for example, broadcasting, he will be the very best in broadcasting. They will not leave our university and begin to learn how to operate in the newsroom, because we will already have known all of that. So we are producing industry-ready graduates, experts, so to say. And that's the thing we want to restrict ourselves to and make sure we can make some point with it. And hope that the NUC will, after us, need to encourage more and more. I think in fairness, NUC has already started that because the medical university in is private, specialized. We're also happy that the present leadership of NUC believes in specialized university. So when I visited the executive secretary, I didn't spend 3 minutes before he told me that both of us are on the same page. And that is the reason why we appear to have moved quite swiftly. Even those of us on this side of the road, we think that it's too slow. But many people who started with us have not reached where we are. So when people say the establishment of the university has done quite well, their relationship with us, we agree. There's so much informal relationship. You can take up the phone and call them. They will tell you what you want to hear, what needs to do. So they will both written and oral guidance. We're grateful. You'll be wondering, this man that we say is an expert in media and broadcast in particular, one will have expected as we are here today, you don't see an array of cameras, cameramen, reporters, and all of that. You will notice that none of such things have happened. Because in broadcasting, we are trained that there are times when silence is golden. You must wait at the appropriate time before you begin to make noise. In fact, I have never said to the reader University of Communication. I don't say it because I'm a process person. I believe that it's time for me to begin to say so. I'm not also very good at saying things that are proposed. I'm more interested in things that are approved and authorized. So I'll be grateful that we have stood up. So let nobody be wondering why do I appear quiet? So it's a deliberate decision of the TIUC that we should be doing the process. But I will say one or two things about the TIUC. There are those who believe that we can start this university tomorrow, and therefore we can start right from here. When they ask me, why don't you allow us to expand this office location? But are you really not ready? Correct? That's one group. There's another group that believes that let's do all of them together. That's why you see some work going on here, some work going on here, some work going on here. So with them, just like that. But we're trying to prioritize that if we do not know when the approval will come, if it comes this week, then we can just begin from this week. If it comes next month, maybe we have done some more floors, and so on and so forth. So we are quite flexible, believing that it will give us room to achieve the goal. We will be grateful if we can expedite action on our request so that we can take off. Many of those who have the first degree and all of those things who are anxious to transfer to media and communication to do certificate courses, this place is available for them because we have been doing a number of certificate courses here. In fact, it's an exam center, and by the time you go upstairs, you see evidence of an exam center. So in this building, we have had two major departments that have been doing training, the exam center and the legal services department. Maybe because I'm also a lawyer, I'm sort of emphasizing the areas I'm interested in. Communication and media one has been more of an Abuja thing. So we have been transiting, bringing things little by little. So anything you don't see here will be those things that you know that you will certainly have. Things like studio, production, and all of those things are yet to move. Otherwise, just get going. So I asked my friend to tell me when I'm getting too long. So it's waiting to me. Don't forget that I said brief. So I'm trying to round up now. And I pray that you meet your expectations. I expect you to, as usual, counsel and guide us. We are quite flexible, and there are so many things we can do. I was telling my brother and friend Mustafa at the other side that the majority of the top floors will be open floors, which we would like to partition so that it can be put into multiple use. The day you want to make it big, you just remove the partition. The day you don't want to do, you want to have 2 or 3. So we are quite open, and that's why we prioritize our relationship with the State Commissioner for Fiscal Management, who has been up and doing. So we believe that with this little brief, we can progress and believe the work of the implementation committee. But the third group that I was trying to tell you of are those who think that the promoter is not a member of the PIC. And therefore, should not breathe down on us. Should wait for us to recommend. So when we were coming here and we got to the gate, I said, please call me. So which of the doors should we pass? So we have to dramatize it because we are not supposed to. Our role is this item 3, which we have done. Madam Director, thank you for coming. Members of the correct. Also, in this compound, there will be some 1 or 2 signs that will show to you that it's a family property. Because my mother lived here alive. When she died at the young age of 97, my sister was crying throughout. Because usually in our family, we meet around 113. 2. So she died at 97. We have not been able to understand why. But maybe we will get to know it as we progress. So we see such signs to know. And because the family thought that I should take control here, I was given this place, which is why we have access to land and property. So we can use it the way we like. Just from the field and procedure according to your guidance. Thank you very much and welcome.
Thank you, Professor Ifosa Osage, to speak on behalf of the TIUC. We have effectively discharged the promoter, so he has finished his job.
Thank you very much. I'm sure that as the day progresses, you will see that I have multiple names. Sometimes I'm called Osage, sometimes I'm called Ifosa. My name is Ifosa Osage. You know, Professor, Director, in 1997, or even 95, when the NUC paid its first friendly visit to the then TIC of what became Millennium University, the take-off campus was the teaching hospital of the university, what is today the university. And that hospital was the state-of-the-art hospital in the whole of sub-Saharan Africa, and the best equipment offered at the time. So the NUC team called the promoter aside and said to him, why don't you consider having a university of medical sciences? Chief Imenedio is the first to say, God forbid, God forbid. I want a university that will be like Harvard. And they laughed, Years later, when I came on board as Vice Chancellor, I said to him, that's what we should have been. And then he said, they didn't even guide me enough. Yeah, because what he was thinking of was a university, and see how he was thinking. That it would begin with a conventional university. But he would build the medicine so well. He would build the law so well. He would build all those colleges so well that each and every one of them would end up as a university. So he had, a roundabout approach to what the NUC wanted the direct approach for. And the other day, he was saying, you see, today, we have universities of medical sciences. You even now have a University of Accounting, in addition to University of Management Sciences, which is on Lagos University. So I told my senior brother that we're on solid ground, because the NUC, from the very beginning, recognized the place of specialized universities. In fact, Professor Koje used to say to me, that if we were University of Medical Sciences at Canadian, we would have become the first World Bank's Center of Excellence in Africa. So I have no doubt at all that what we are doing today is laying the foundation for what is going to become the first Center of Excellence for Communication Studies in Africa. So I think that's my takeoff point. For us, we are very excited by second point. In India, they have not quite universities of music, but institutions that are close to being universities of music. And they would have about 4 floors. On the top floor, you would have the gurus. And usually those gurus don't come downstairs. When you go to meet them on that floor, they all have long beards. And it's only when, they have controversies, disputes, disagreements from the lower faculty that they are sent on. And when the guys clear their throats, the matters are resolved. They are the masters of music. If it's violin, whatever, and so on and so on. So, if a guru decides to set up a school of music in India, everyone goes there because they want to be taught by the teacher. This is a man who knows. So for us as PIC, the excitement we have is that we have a promoter who's not commercially minded. He's not thinking of, but he has been a name in the media in Nigeria and across Africa. As a secondary school student, when he was here at the NTA Benin, he was our shining star. And if any person came to Benin and hadn't gone through, Tony Radio, then the person hadn't been acquitted. And because Tony Radio was a one-man court of justice, and he drilled those people to no end. It got to a point they started to fear to come to his program because they say he would roast them. But that was his foundation. He's always had a passion for this. And, which great guru would have a passion and not think of succession? He's been very successful. He can decide to look the other way. After all, he's also a lawyer now. And he has done so well with the law. The one that President Obasanjo told me at night, he said, yes, please, what is this? What is that Latin expression?
Functus official.
So I learned from him, so many things, the kinds of things that don't immediately appear obvious. Meaning that even the high and the mighty of our country defer to him, when they want advice. So for him, it would look like he just came and, he didn't leave that legacy, that thing. So all this training he's been having, it's his passion. So when he now says he wants a university, we are all glad. So this is one promoter whose mind, whose soul, whose body, and everything that he has is inside this project. And the least we can do is to assist him and to support him. And this is what we have been doing. Skyline University in Canada. It's a story, a multi-story building, but it's a full-fledged university, and it's doing well. University of Management Sciences, I think St. Christopher's, on Lagos Ibadan Expressway. It's a small place, and the guys have never shown any ambition to want to be like, Ahmadu Bello University or National Open University. They're just contented with what they want. So for us, the excitement is, as it says, we're in Kuti House. Oh, great Melambai. It's okay, we'll talk about great Melambai. But it's Kuti for quantity. You see. So thank God you're not in Kuti House. Now, please don't feel intimidated at all. UI is open to all of us. The truth is that because it's the pioneer university in the country, we all went through it. Whether you went to Suka or UI Fair or UI Zaria, UI BD, UI Jobs, UI Trans, any UI you attended, you are UI original, which is good for you, good for all of us. But this is the point. It's not quantity that we are looking for. Quantity in UI meant a lot of food. So it's a quantity, but quality, this was the thing. But just to close, we are not only interested in building capacity and manpower development and so on. We are also interested in research. So this is going to be a research-driven university. And we expect that the kinds of research we will be doing will be, the kind that will take us out of, global subservience. So decolonization is a critical framework, for the work that we want. We want to tell the world that mass communication, media arts, film, and so on, these things are not about emulation and mimicry. We don't want to be like CNN. We want to lay the marks that they also recognize are legitimate in their own rights. Diversity, inclusivity, and the whole rainbow of civilizations. This is the essence of decolonization. So from the very word go, we have a conceptual clarification of what our place is, in the world of learning. So this is going to be a major knowledge production center. The one that says there is the need to look at the other parts. So it's not one size fits all. So I'd like to thank you. As it says, we hope that this process can be fast-tracked. As you can see, if you say today, we are ready. If you say tomorrow, we are ready. And that's what we've always been ready all the time. So on behalf of the PIC, I want to thank you on behalf of the water. And we look forward to a successful, friendly visit that will keep us on the right track. God bless you. Thank you.
I think for flow, we move now to your remarks. The Director Establishment of Private University, NUC. Madam Constance.
What we have been asking for is presented them that you already have, that is one of the good things about having those who have experience in the university management, share the PIC for the post-university, because you know that you're on the right track to run a university. As much as it's not the same thing. Private universities have a more rigorous process for establishment. For state universities and federal universities, it's just a law. The state assembly approves and then come to NUC for implementation. But quite frankly, just like our years always tell us, NUC is supposed to be known as a strategic partner to those who establish universities. We haven't come as this one to do anything out there. Yes, those are part of things, because we know that we need a certain quality. There must be minimum standards. Yes, we want these beautiful facilities, but we also know that the content matters a lot. And we are governed by the promoters' box on this university is not looking for something too big. It might actually become very big eventually, but starting in such a way that we can really grow the university to become proud of anything concerning communication and all the allied fields. So we want to appreciate you and bring our years greetings as a partner, because you are helping to expand access. That's actually why I had an issue when you said we were very so small, but we also want to be able to fill the access gap. There's a problem with access to university education, because that's where every young person coming out from the university wants to go. You don't want to go to the glad that you're doing this. We're here to encourage and say that NUC is glad that you have conceived this idea and have our support with it. I don't want to say anymore because Prof is going to say some things and then we need to just see what we have there and let it agree on the next steps before we see all the other aspects. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Prof. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much. I note that she said what you are doing. She didn't say what you will be doing. And she said she will say more. Thank you so much for your very So let me invite Professor Aneku, very experienced man whose interest in entrepreneurship is latent. Please, you may wish to have the remarks.
Thank you very much. The promoter of this we should mention the name yet. The promoter of this very reassuring and we've got this university that will really find the essence of communication in Nigeria and Africa. The chairman of TIUC of the university, director of the secretary of TIUC, members of TIUC, and my colleagues from National University Commission. The director of the unit that establishes private universities, the National University Commission, has already conveyed the felicitations of our boss, the Executive Secretary of the National University Commission. I want to reinforce that there is somebody that has also onboarded the regional and well-known hiccups in the process of establishing universities. So he actually has got a lot of innovations in the process of ensuring that access to education is citizens. So, leveraging on that, I want to very warmly refuse this to thank Mota for this wonderful initiative, for bringing on board something personal, as my friend Emmanuel said, we've been discussing. Anytime, anywhere, that I see any individual that is trying to create an environment that will help us in solving the problem, unemployment, the problem of ensuring that our present youth can really think and persevere to improve their skills in order to really have means of livelihood. I will always praise such a person. And with this intention, the establishment of this university as a specialized university, honestly, will solve huge problems that we are facing in Nigeria and sub-Saharan Africa and Asia. Really, people coming out, or people just saying, let us go to university without knowing what we need to do at the end. So I'm seeing for the future, the university that graduates real job creators and not job seekers. And I think that is the dream of any person that has advanced people forward for our university. And the personal experience and by my involvement in quite a number of other things in the university system, I really have also interacted and part of things going on in private university, public university alike. And we know that private university is something, is kind of business, a project that sometimes it's not very easy to understand what you can really see until you are in there. For public universities, you say, oh, what is coming from government, because the principal is either the federal government for federal university, it's either state government for state university, and whatever you see, the workers they are looking at, oh, we are going to receive a salary. They civil service mentality to always apply in that session. Therefore, a privately driven institution or business, it is for business. So no person is engaged in private enterprise if the person is not required. Unlike what you see in public institutions, where sometimes you engage people that you are still in need. You are compelled to engage individuals that you may not need them. So why I'm saying this is, for whatever that is mounted as a course, as a program, in private university, it must be very highly needed. The courses that are not needed, you may not spend your resources, time, and physical facility engaging in such programs. Thank God that we are talking about communication, especially as a university. Communication today cannot take place without technology. And I want to expand it further. Apart from the classical role model that the promoter offer, because as the chairman of the TIUC said, the issue of role model is what will help most institutions, especially the private ones, to really stand out. In your own area of competence, you're already a role model and a very well-known role model. That alone will help in attracting students, the individuals that want to come and upgrade their training in this kind of institution. Beyond that, the communication that will really help in the Nigerian society will also drive all their components in computing, in artificial intelligence, in animation. So if you watch these days, from kindergarten, from little children, most people are busy with their homes. They get their children busy with all these cartoons and all these kind of things. So the people who went out to Asians, many years back, they started this process of ensuring that you can even educate without talking. So they use all this animation, they use robotics, they use all that. They are all part of communication. Another function of communication, you can see the challenged people who are not hearing the dumb and all that. So the special skills of communication. So a university like this should really be in a position to bring in those diversifications that are lacking. When we talk about those special skilled and trained people who are special education, they do this language and certification and all that kind of thing. They are not the kind of people that are looking for job today. Even in Nigeria, people who read linguistics, people who read English, they will graduate, they will tell you you don't have anything to do. Those who study things like special education, they are needed, other sign language, and all that. They are all forms of communication. So what I'm saying is that you begin the courses to commence. Because if you establish a school like this, and after 4 or 5 years, your population is less than 300 or 400. The people that are working here will maintain physical facilities, all sorts of things, electricity and all that. So the sustainability of this kind of project will be anchored on one, ensuring that these courses will be very attractive, because they may not be common elsewhere. 2, if they are attractive and the people who are living in this place can easily get employment or even have employment as they are working. Thank God that we need here this institution is a cultural environment. So define us and the art, display of the African setting is also a part of communication. So the polymer polymer materials. I'm happy with what is Gary, the chairman of PS. If he attends any international gathering with this attire, he has communicated. People will know that this is a real African original fabric. And that's what they will always appreciate. They will say, oh, we want something. White man, tourists from other parts of the world that will be coming in here, who want to grow up with something that they will show. So that is part of communication, showing that they have moved. They will not come here to buy something that they see in their own environment. So this place, Nollywood, filmmaking, advertising, our own definition of character and traits is what this institution showcases as an identity for the Nigerian African origin. I believe, honestly speaking, that with your name, if you just be in China right now, you've seen the Tankaki. The Tankaki was a man that also brought about sort of revolution that the Chinese of today. The opening up of the Chinese, both their education, their commerce, in other part of the world. So they get into the Confucius ideology. So this one, as a practitioner, you are willing to part with that skill. You are also willing to deepen as a resource, so that the generation that we are having now, the ones yet to come, will now promote, continue to have things of that. So I actually want to congratulate you and congratulate the PIC, because you've chosen seasoned and well-exposed people that from the area of knowledge and the exposure of competition of PIC. I feel personally that we're not going to have any shortcoming at all. The private university, institutionalized private university, is to augment the gap and the lapses we are already noticing in the public university space. And we feel that, thank God we are all white. We know here we are all, we are trying. What we should give should not be anything less than standard that we receive. Otherwise, we will be answerable to our God that we are giving this level of knowledge and we have refused to transfer ourselves to the generation of people behind us. Finally, I want to also say that since I've been involved with some of this kind of, this is the first time I have seen very formidable government-private sector relationship, where the government of the state is identifying with this project is something that I feel that is extraordinary and it is very government. If other private institutions are getting this level of even 60% of it, support from the very well, I wouldn't think that some of them complaining what they so I think that area should continue required and reported and record is sustainability. Finally, you are talking about, yes, building space. You've seen the other side. You've seen this side. Honestly speaking, this is something that technically you also will need to sit down to know what you are likely to say. These are the programs that we are going to start immediately. Yes, I've noted and we from the promoters training has been going on here. Those trainings, are they certificated? If they are certificated, what level of certification? Because the university is first undergraduate before other certifications come. Certificate course is not the essence of this visit. It is the first degree and other degrees awarded by university. But again, for graduates that we want to come and do certificate course, if the name is the university, to really add to the quality, the prestige of what yes, by but the prepare was started. And we made it sounding hard before our police on the other side trying. And that was why we took service. But the then easy of the University of Lagos, we are all they joined us because the institute and affair and all that, so we are discussing very well. So we made our secretary. And that really is a killer for those who come in as direct entry candidates into universities. So what I'm trying to say is that private universities should have either, institutions, not really universities. So such bigger institutions will help them to connect candidates that will join direct entry candidates. Since JAM recognizes some of these qualifying areas, and the subjects and the kind of training that they require will help them ultimately to move into their second year program in various courses. So I feel I have said a lot of these and all that. Timing, just then the comments. Because what we do is symbiotic relationship, advisory, get ready, short, our back, and also get ready for it. So most of these things dependent on us to again. So what we do, generally speaking, sustainability is an issue. So put and take courses that will fly. So that at the end of the day, people that will live here will be able to practice what they teach. Thank you very much.
Could we say don't have it at all?
Don't
Thank you. Talked about propose. The word propose. We deal with things that are complex. And the advices and counsel we are getting are very complex. We have gotten to item 7, which you titled Adoption of Program. You may wish to direct further. We have this, the background presentation to come at the beginning, because that will help us before we yes. At the moment, what we have tried to do, is to identify spaces and what we want to use them for if we have the NUC. So we are in the administrative component of the proposed takeoff site. We have 2 offices here. So we have the registry in here. The registry is here and academic planning. We will use this as the council chamber, because for now this is the space level for Senate meeting. For the first 1 year only. If see we use it. That's why it's first here. The bus fees here. The communication sources are but you know that we also require servicing sources like that. Since that from the one we're doing so we need
the dean, the position of dean is administrative. Deputy dean is also administrative. So if you want outside the head of the department,
okay, we know that. We know that. mic will give you. Efe, can you help me move this chair, please? We're looking now.
Yes.
Most of our philosophy has been covered from all that we've taken so far. But our rider is that we want to provide leadership in addressing our emerging communication and cultural needs through this proposed institution. It's going to have a blended technology-driven curricula, in the sense that likely most of what we expect that modern communication professionals should know is 70% driven by technology. And so software engineering is very important to curriculum. And so we want to produce industry-ready professionals in the field of media, communication, and creative economy. This is, of course, because most of our graduates at the moment are not fit for the market. Incidentally, Professor Heredia and I participated actively in the unbundling process. I chaired the public relations team, and he chaired the broadcasting team before it finally came for review. I represented the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations in the process, so I represented industry besides my training as an academic. So we want to, from day one, our graduates will be trained in both the industry requirement as well as the academic content, as we now have in the CCMAS. And I need to mention too that the CCMAS was the motivation for this program, for this project proposal. And so we were not looking at BMAS per se, because if CCMAS had not been released, we would not really have what we are asking for. So from day one, we are working with the CCMAS and not BMAS, because that is where this 8-9 programs now came from. But because of our specialized interest, we are really not interested in mass communication as contained in CCMAS at the moment. We want to focus on those specialty areas. So we will teach in-demand skills for the fast-growing media, communication, creative industry sector by providing employability, promoting employability of graduates. We want to also help our students to master job-ready skills using guided projects, programming assignments, and in-course assessments. We have good enough, we have so many media agencies here. We also have a lot of the establishments that, in fact, they will be scrambling for our graduates. We do not intend to have a crowd in a class. By our design, we want to ensure that every student admitted has a computer, he has access to internet, because some of the resources we have are already online. We already have some subscriptions with, even for the TICMA trainings, we have subscriptions with some of the databases already. And so we want a situation where students can equally do the assignments, whether it is post-production or whether it is shooting and all that in the course of their training. There are 3 major areas. We have advertising and the computer and media, advertising, broadcasting, development communication, film and multimedia studies, information and media studies, journalism, public relations, and strategic communication. In computing, we believe that for you to do well here, you need support from these 4 areas. Computer studies because of the general studies courses. So that is one of the first we think we start so that we have somebody to take these basic computer courses. Cyber security, data science, software engineering. You cannot talk about communication technology today without having adequate knowledge in this area. And it also requires a lot of, there's a lot of training we're doing in the area of science communication, which has to do with data journalism and all that. We have to bridge that gap. And from day one, because the problem, ethics is very important for practice of whatever aspect of communication we're talking about. We expect that those will be supporting programs, whether we have a faculty on ground or not, we must have somebody in the area to teach some of the courses. And so we hope that in the first, maybe from the 6th year, that's why we call it a supporting program. We would, with your blessing, have programs in law, social and management sciences, as contained in the document. Now, where we went to, this is the visual, yes, and it can finish even this year. One of the reasons why we slowed down, of course, you know, when the promoter visited you, and I also mentioned we have problem with access now because they work on the road. We submitted this form, you know, in our maybe limitations and complications. We expect that if you submit it within a few months, we hear from NUC, and then you run. So when investment started here, yes, you know, but formally to receive a letter to say we have received your application, we are processing. But I can assure you that our target, that's why we're talking of first year, is that if we see the green light, we can finish this in 1 year, but we don't expect that studies will start there in the next 1 year. So that's why in our planning, we're saying from second year. But that is to say that everything will be ready before then. And this is the front view of where we stood. This is by the side. Now, I don't know if we can read this. Is it possible? But I can explain. Here, you can read it? Yes. Okay. So this is multi-purpose hall. You will notice that this is just generic name. That's because this will be open space. We will model them according to the classes we require. But this will be classrooms. And of course, we have the sick bay is here by the corner. You can't, sorry. You can't access it from here because of this wall. But if by chance there's need, you can actually access it either from this staircase or from here. You know, and we have the bursar's office here because it needs to be closer to the students, and we also have a large middle classroom here. This is the second floor. These are studios. All these are studios. This is our ICT center, and we have a dean's office here. We have laboratory here. We have another dean's office on this side, and then another laboratory. The rest of them are classrooms. But this is our lecture theater. This is I did first floor now. We have finished ground. This is the first floor, and then the second floor. So this staircase is what takes you. This is the council chamber. This next is the VC's office, the Senate chamber, and some of the directories will have their offices here. Again, it's an open space that will be partitioned. And then this is where we're going to have the academic planning unit. So you can come in here. This is the registrar's office. This registrar and this registrar's office. So it means if you come from this staircase, because of this, you can only enter here if you're going to this unit. And again, when you come here, you cannot easily cross over here. So it's a private zone, and the library is on its own. And yes, this is the arrangement on the third floor. The university librarian, of course, is here. This whole segment is the library, the administration. The university library is here, then the librarians and other whatever storage they have. So this area, you can see the basement. We have the sports hall. We have porter's office. We have common area. We have the kitchen here. And of course, you also have more like a social center for the students. Then on top of it is where you have the rooms. Again, we are actually interested in not just Nigerian students, but also target because the city university we envisaging There are private hostels, actually, a lot of them around where we are. And that means that we try to make our hostels as comfortable as possible so that we envisage will attract also some foreign students. So you will see that they are more like in suite, the hostel facility, because this is toilet here, this is kitchen, you know, and that also continues on the last floor. But I talked about a leak, you know, so when you look at it, when completed, this is how the campus we visited first will look like. This is the student area, and this is the other aspect of the campus. And of course, for this place, which we propose as takeoff, this is the layout. We have gone round, so probably you have an idea of it. Now, at the top is the CBT center, and then of course the computer science segment as we showed you. We have the academic staff offices here, we have the classrooms here. We thank you, you have also saved us this space. So we have a dean here, and well, this is where the student registration and things like that will be done as it were. And this is where we are now. So that will be modeled for the Vice Chancellor, and of course that office is the secretary. This is the entry here, and this is the last slide actually, sorry. This is where we are now, this segment. This is where we are, and of course there's a basement where you have all the studios as we suggested to NUC in the CCMAS for the programs that have been unbundled. And because, like I said, we participated, so we are very much aware of what we provided, which luckily NUC, after its review process, did not take away anything from that proposal. So basically this is it, but how do we intend?
Sorry, presenter. I think we participated, tends to take a little bit away from what we did. You were chairman of the public relations team.
I stated at the beginning.
I was chairman of the broadcast team. So we had 2 of our people in the team that worked with NUC.
For both the undergraduate and postgraduate.
Actually the chair.
So in the first year, this is what we are suggesting, and this looks to us like something that is doable in the next few months, because we are blessed with people who even understand the concept of small but very effective system. We don't have to preach to the converted. And I'm also happy that UI people are the ones that are giving us now a solution to what UI cannot provide. Small but very effective. So let's clap for the UI people. So if we think that given the nod, these programs can take off without any difficulty on this side. And then from the 2nd to 5th year, these are the programs we hope will come on. By then, our main campus, if you permit me to use that, would have come in place. And then from the 6th year, that is when we want this to begin to see how we can have the supporting faculties. And of course, any other one that our discussion might suggest. So this is in brief what we have in mind, and we're happy that you have the time to listen to us, and we believe that it's going to be a partnership that you as regulators and we as industry people and people with a vision are very passionate about, and we look forward to your advice, technical advice, and also your support beyond this stage. Thank you so much.
Director, I want to thank you sincerely for what you did for us without meaning to do it for us. And when I say you, I mean NUC. The only thing is that right now it's located in the S-Men area. So, in case those you want to respect?
Well, I think maybe Prof is part of the PIC, that is why we don't have, I mean, we didn't encounter any much problem in the academic field. We have just a few corrections to be
There are
done.
7 professors on PIC.
Okay, so you see,
You are a professor, you say, is it a promoter?
all of the above, all of the above. So we have some few, corrections to be done on the academic field. You know, sir, in the area of the science, because we have computer studies and cyber security. Although, I mean, there are differences, like computer studies. What we have in the BMAS is computer science. But studies and science is more or less the same thing. I will speak on the takeoff programs vis-a-vis the relevant facilities that are supposed to be put on ground before the programs are taken off. You know, Prof, in the sciences, no matter the area of sciences, 100 level, all the students, they take the basic sciences, chemistry, physics, biology, and all the laboratories, I mean, most of it, provided for the students, chemistry, physics, biology, laboratories. So we should take note of that. For us to take off computer studies and cyber security, all those programs will be, or laboratories and programs will be on ground. Then when we go to the arts, we have English language and literary studies, then film production. Since we are studying with the language lab should be there for takeoff. The facility in their second year. So we tend to, not giving it proper attention. Before you know, the first year is gone. You are in the second year, and they will need those facilities. Then for the communication and media, that's the main programs. But okay, they do the first year is the basic programs that they will do. Not science, but basic programs, the languages and what. But then make sure when they go to the second year, they will need the students.
But from the one they did lab.
Well, some of them.
Except development commission.
Some universities, I mean, the first year, they are not exposed to, but my boss, he's so area. I don't want to.
He's also for Mustafa. He has names of big people.
I don't want to be queried when we go back. So mine is the academic belief and some of these basic facilities before takeoff. So
Equipment?
No. Not the use of facilities. Well, what he is saying is the basic things. I mean, the provision of the adequate, classrooms, lecture halls, and the library and whatever. So these are basic things. These are things that we all know that before a university will take off, definitely should already to, provide those things. Then the offices for academic staff, like for the deans, because by looking at the takeoff program, that means we are taking over the 3 faculties. Because communication and media is a faculty, computing is a faculty, then arts is a faculty. So provision will be made for 3 dean's offices, then HODs, other academic staff, and whatever.
You don't think it's possible the deputy will be from the arts component?
You can put these two together.
Yeah, so it's 2 people.
But the computer.
Yes, it's 2 people.
But you can make it faculty of arts and communication department. If you can be that's your own area. If you look at related programs, maybe 2 or 3 put them under one department. Like the computing. A faculty of computing, you have only one department because computer science, cyber security is more or less the same. So, one HOD can take care of the 2 programs.
For private university, we are not looking at replicating too many.
No. Yes.
As much as possible.
That's why I'm saying even under communication and media, you can look at related programs, 2, 3, maybe you have maybe 2 departments if possible.
These are what we have seen. You will see that we have about 8 or 9 classrooms. Because all those labs are classrooms. In the basement alone, we have 5. We have the computer up, so that's 6. And then the CBT lab is also available for some of the practical classes. So for classes, we think that as far as the lab are concerned, if you tell us that in 1 month you want us to move our equipment for anything to cover the communication and this as component, they will be in place. That of computing is the one we have started exploring possibility with some of our sister units. PIC will look at it again, whether we want to take off with this in the first year, or if it will delay us, we'll allow it to come when we have moved to where we have space for it. But we are very determined, and we believe that these other programs can really start if we are happy with that, even this next week.
Yes.
After that, I don't eat anything except my in-law. So they come like 20 places. And his name is crazy. So when they were telling us about the crazy things, I thought they had told us all the things we needed.
Because we have to make a presentation to make any big transmission. So we can't program them when they are finished again, furnished and equipped. So that every equipment that is not finished that is required in all those processes. So I just want you to get this in mind as they make this presentation, so that it's not like we expect you to have this place like this and start academic. There has to be some facilities.
So we can start with the basic.
As what you say is at the moment, they can only give us basic notes. But there are things we need to do to concretize the basic. Like I said, as far as communication components are concerned, if you say you're coming back to see in 2 weeks, with the way you can picture them, we don't have problem. These are things we have. They are things. TICMA has donated to National State University a whole TV studio in the past, so that won't be a problem at all. If you tell us that this space can do our takeoff at the moment, we will be happy to move. We will be further encouraged in the banding of the yam.
And then the application of resources. Because what we have told about the building line should be in case, yes, where the zone should follow the left start. But what we do, we have to concentrate on the particular.
There's route.
If we do the kind of partitioning here, by the time we introduce the construction road for the medical direction for the top, losses bay, the records, observation roads, even just to in the room. I'm not sure we need to get that this one for the chapter. Meanwhile, we have multi-purpose or ground. What do you
It's actually also a lecture theater, but you might have some ceremonies that you want to use that place for. Maybe like lectures, convocation lecture, inaugural lectures and things like that. So it's more like a, yes, you can use it for such events.
So for the ground floor, the purpose
That's the multi-purpose. This lecture station is strictly for lectures, large, medium lectures. And then there are classrooms that can take 150 by the side. We'll partition them.
Okay, so let's go outside.
Yes, this is a quiet zone.
And the library is where we have the administrative,
Yes.
vice chancellor,
Registrar.
definitely the student will come.
No, they won't go in there. If you look at this, this is their step.
It's on the top floor also. You don't know where the exit center is. The second floor.
That's exactly what we tend to do. See, when they are drawing, they will train it the professional according to them. My concept is to need to want. Like the word multi-purpose. It not sound right, but what they are trying to say is that the place that is capable of being used for many things.
Yeah.
Share majority.
Something like that. So if you change the terminology to what you like, you have the same one.
Yes.
Even the one lecture charter, you want to see the typical lecture charter is not a strict kind of. It's stepping. Yes. So, but that one is even their own minor kind of. So, we leave because of our construction. We leave every space to open. By the time we now want to do the application,
The builders are told even before the building.
I will go back.
Ground floor.
We'll go back to this particular space here.
Which one?
Where we have.
Okay, yes.
But you have to start from the. Yes, we agree that this place is a specialized university.
Pages 12 to 14. And we identified some things that need to be done. And so we stated it in our comments. What needs to be adjusted as it outlined on the page. And then we also have a synchrony part that we also have just some free comments on it. The synchrony is the law aligning with the chapter 3 of the draft academic brief, the organizational structure. So some things that need to be aligned as the composition and quorum of some of the committees. So they're clearly spelled out. It's not.
Including the one that BOT decisions shouldn't go to promoter for approval.
Yes.
That's the one I was trying to implement when it was reversing.
Yes.
But it's not a barbarian at all.
What if it's no longer that one? So you're hearing
So basically, that's what we have based on the comments for the draft university law. And then, aside from that, I think we also advise that we get a list and series of the members of the board of trustees of the proposal to get to us as soon as possible so that we can forward it to the SSS for security clearance. Maximum 9.
When you say CV, you mean profile, just
Yes,
profile, right?
Yes,
Not details.
yeah.
Profile.
Details.
Yeah?
Well,
the antecedents.
Whatever information you think.
So if you have a professor, you want to see his publications?
No, but they will do their due diligence. They don't really need all that information. When they go, listen, they just, so it could be profile.
Like if my chairman, for instance, just describe this thing, maybe 1 page or half a page.
They didn't give us any format.
Okay.
Just need names and series.
Those of us who have done that before know what to do.
Yes. So they will do their due diligence and get back to us on that.
Plans or things like that. Okay.
You have bid of assignment, you have COO.
Okay, there to this.
Yes.
Okay, so that's fine. We have to. You want to go with them today or when we're submitting?
I'm just telling you the requirements that are needed for filing and implementation proposals.
And provide adequate security and logistics. Because by the time students are registered here, you now start understanding some other requirements that really are just like parents housing many children that are trusted into your hands. So these are some of the things I want to add to what I said there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
About all these community local government chairman, DPO, all of those things. So we have sent the addresses to you. I hope you have seen the addresses. We have also reached out to them to inform them that you may reach them so that you will not be surprised. The problem I find here is not really a problem, it's just the same overkill of the metropolis. Like when we were trying to look at the police DPO in charge of here, it was so strange to hear that there are two of them. They say it's a joint ownership. So
In case, maybe our sister was governor to give a vote of thanks on behalf of TIUC, and thereafter, not to say that we'll take lunch here, it's little about it, so just hopefully
The director, thank you very much, Mr. Hamiku, and all other members of the NUC team. I want to say thank you. And not all what you observed and what you have told us, we've taken note of it. And we are very pleased that you didn't miss out anything. And we promise you that all you have noted and you have instructed us will carry it out. I still want to thank every other member present here. Not much to say because the usual item 7 was adoption of the agenda, but then the real item 7 that we all know in the local parlance is coming up. So I want to say thank you all, and I wish you all safe trip back to your respective destination. Thank you very much.
All the team members will have built in you. They will have it in the hotel where we are. At this point, I'll hand over to our sister, Betty. It's important I mention that this